So, welcome to episode 5 of Sit for a Spell. And today, instead of showing you a little charm at the beginning of the episode, I'm going to show you an ancient occult secret. Something that is the provenance of only the most dedicated high priestesses who have been experienced in the practicing of witchcraft for a very long time. You ready for this? I'm going to show you how to get wax out of an altar cloth. Every witch needs to know this. So, I have here this lovely cloth with this clearly visible red wax here. And this is actually a very simple little trick. Okay, you got a good look? Yeah. So what you do is you drape it over top of a bucket and you put the side that's got the most wax on it down, because it's just easier to help it run through. Then what you do is you heat up a kettle on the stove. Now I like to fill it with as much water as possible so it'll end up being really hot and you have lots of it. So I've done that. I have my kettle here and it was splashing all over the place, that's why I have my oven mitt. And what I'm going to do is just pour it slowly over top of the wax. Now what this will do is it will melt the wax and it will cause it to run right through the cloth. You have to go slowly because little bits of wax will pool on the top of the cloth, as you can probably see that it's doing there. And I'll have to run it all through. That's why also you put a little divot in the cloth, because that way it kind of all draws it to a central point. Make sure you don't want to use the bucket for something else, because you will end up with wax residue in the bucket. It won't hurt anything once it dries, but you just kind of run it through until you see all the wax disappear. Now I still see a lot of red there, so. You have to do it slowly too, because otherwise it won't work. If you still end up with a little bit of wax residue on the cloth, then another trick that you can do is to take 2 pieces of wax paper and put them on either side of the cloth. This came to me from my coven mate Michelle, so thank you very much, Mitch. And you heat up an iron. I would assume relatively low heat to avoid scorching the wax, and you iron it out. And I think you guys get the idea. So we'll move along to our related segment today, which is something that I call my sacred washing machine spell. I used to be an editor, the assistant editor for a web magazine called What's Brewin', and it was pretty popular on that particular webzine. So I thought you guys might be interested in it. After the Beltane celebrations, we've got quite a lot of altar cloths and cloaks, which are really filthy, and we need to clean them. But you should also clean them energetically as well as physically. So this is a practical way to combine the two. Now, I guess I'm not going to be using that one. Okay, we'll use this to mix. We're going to make a little magical mixture here. You start with approximately a tablespoon worth, well, 3 tablespoons worth of salt. I'm just going to kind of loosely estimate today, however, though. You know, yeah, about so. Salt, of course, purifies and cleanses things energetically when it is applied, so that's why it's being used. What I have here is ground sage, and this is the culinary sage. This is not sagebrush. You can use that too, but this is more traditional. And you put about a teaspoon worth of this into your mixture. Sage clears negative energy and creates a protective barrier. So that's why we're using the sage. And eventually I'll be able to get the bag closed. Now remember, in the first episode, I said that if you don't know what to use rosemary. That's because it empowers and cleanses energetically and also is protective. It's good for a variety of things. We're going to put about the same amount of rosemary in here, and keep in mind I am estimating. So, and then to top it off, we're going to add about the same amount of lavender flowers, one of my personal favorite herbs, useful for a wide variety of things. In this particular case, what we are doing is we are adding positive energy and a spiritual element to our mixture. Now, of course, all of these three magical herbs have the additional benefit of smelling nice and driving away moths and other denizens who may be inclined to nibble on fabric. So it's practical as well as spiritual. Now, what we do is we mix it together, and because we're going to be using it to banish negative energies and anything that it may have picked up, we are going to be mixing counterclockwise. And that's actually a little hint for you for when you do your dishes or something like that. To banish dirt, mix it counterclockwise. You'll actually find that if you do it with intention, it'll happen more quickly. Now, because we're going to be using this as a cleansing and banishing mixture, we're going to draw an earth banishing pentagram in it. Now, if you'll remember, that starts at the bottom left-hand corner, and you know what, I'll do it from your guys' perspective. Bottom left-hand corner to the top, bottom right-hand corner, upper left, upper right, bottom left. Just a momentary focus to charge it to its purpose. And now we're going to take this stuff, and we're going to take our clothes, and we're going to go to the washing machine. So we are here in ye old Covenstead's laundry room, and we're about to do the sacred washing machine spell. So what I have here over on this side is a whole, I'll just grab it to give you an idea. This is all stuff that is related to our magical workings. It's ritual robes, or the dress I wore to represent the May Queen at Beltane, or altar cloths, that kind of idea. And I've got a good size load of it. So what you do, right, you set it up like you actually would for, you know, whatever, your typical laundry, right? And you put in all your clothes that you're going to wash, or altar cloths, or whatever else. My husband's funky ritual robe. And I don't know, I'm going to put this on cold water because I have a bunch of colors. If you're going to wash an altar cloth that has wax on it, make sure you've already done the little trick to take the wax out. That is an extra large load too, yeah. So then, what you do, you're ready to go here. You've got this mixture that you made on your altar. And ye old-fashioned laundry soap. You start your washer like you typically would. Normal load. Pour in your soap, just like you always would. Notice that I did it, however, counterclockwise, because we're banishing dirt and we're banishing negative energy, right? Now I came up with a little rune for this. A rune is a rhyming poem that you use to fix a spell in your mind. I'll see if I can remember it. How did it go? I came up with it before I came in here. It was banish misfortune by my will, clear the energy, remove all ill. By the power of 3 times 3, as I will. So more repeat. And you wash your clothes just like normal, just like anything else. It'll just flush the dirt down the drain, and it will cleanse your clothing and your altar cloths energetically, as well as cleanse them of dirt, and they'll even smell really nice when you're done. So I guess it's just a brief little episode of Sit for a Spell today, but I think that the information has gotten through, so I don't feel it needs anything more. Thanks very much, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.